Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're having a great day so far. In today's fragrance review, we're going to be taking a closer look at a fragrance by the company Floris. I know I've reviewed a few of their fragrances in the past, including Honey Oud and a few others. I'm going to leave the links to those down below if you're interested. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the fragrance Jermyn Street. Really excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Jermyn Street by Floris London, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews just like this, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. And of course, if you can give this video a thumbs up, it would really mean a lot to me and it would go such a long way. So this fragrance was actually composed by Edward Bodenham and it came out in 2015. So we're talking about a fragrance that's 6 years old now. Kind of hard to believe. And I have tried this one in the past. I had a generous sample that was provided to me and smells amazing. And it has this really sophisticated and gentlemanly combination of artemisia, vetiver, and violet, and I knew eventually I would have a bottle in my collection. And so this is one that is such a Swiss Army knife for me. If I just want to wear something that I know is going to impress people, something that smells very classy, very polished, elegant, and refined, I think Jermyn Street is really evocative of all of those things. And so I'm really excited to be giving you my thoughts on this fragrance. Also want to mention that if you are interested in discovering this fragrance or learning more about it, I'm going to be leaving links down below to where you can check it out. But I'm really excited to start with my impressions of this fragrance and what I get from the smell. But let's take a quick look at the presentation. So in the opening of this fragrance, like I said, you are going to get just a touch of orange, nothing overwhelming, but you're going to get a really nice balance of the vetiver and the violet that's in here. So the violet at times give me like Fahrenheit vibes, but this is much, much, much cleaner. I mean, it's not even a comparison. The vetiver that's used in here is of the clean variety, and so you do have a lot of vetivers on the market that are dark and rooty and earthy. That's not what you're going to get here. Even the artemisia is actually quite tame and clean in this fragrance. I'm also thinking of a Kajal fragrance that contains artemisia, and of course there's Absinthe by Nasamato, which is like really heavy. But this one is very smooth, very polished, very refined and elegant. And I think the violet really serves to clean things up in this fragrance, and the vetiver is just a perfect complement to the violet. Now there's also a little bit of coriander in here, and I think the coriander, the juniper, and the cedar kind of add that woodsy accent to the fragrance. None of them are overwhelming, but it has enough of that woodsy appeal to really create this polished, gentlemanly, and masculine vibe. And I think the coriander actually adds a touch of smoothness as well. I know at times juniper can be a little astringent and a little bit on the woodsy side, but I don't get a whole lot of it from this fragrance. I get enough where I smell it and I'm able to pick up on it, but I don't think it supersedes the vetiver and the violet that's used in here. And so I think if you are a fan of fragrances like Rouge Parfum Vetiver, Grey Vetiver by Tom Ford, Vetiver by Guerlain, if you like some of these really classy vetiver fragrances and you want something that's a little bit on the spicy side, a little woodsy, with a touch of violet in there as well, this is such an awesome fragrance. I actually wore this fragrance 3 days in a row, and the very next day I was like, I'm not gonna wear this again, and I just found myself wearing it again because it has this super versatile Swiss Army knife, classy, refined quality about it that I think it's perfect for any occasion and any season. And so if you're looking for something that is versatile, you can wear it in the spring, you can also wear it in the winter, whether it's hot or cold. I think this one really fits the bill. And it's a type of fragrance that if you're wearing it casually with a t-shirt on, or maybe you have a button down, or even a really nice suit, I think this one would be the perfect complement because it just conveys this sense of being well put together, and it conveys this very well groomed and clean vibe about it. And I think The violet contributes to the cleanliness, and especially the fact that they used a type of vetiver that is on the clean side really amplifies that clean sensation that you're going to get from this fragrance. So I'm a huge fan of Jermyn Street. I know Floris as a house is very versatile, so they have some offerings that are a little bit on the darker side. They also have some that are really on the fresh side. I know I've done a video on Turnbull and Oster, and that is an amazing, fresh, summer-oriented fragrance. So anyway, I know I mentioned that in the beginning of the video, but if I do find my previous reviews, which I'm going to look for them, I'm going to leave a link to them down below so that you can check them out, possibly learn more about the House of Floris, because I think this is an incredible niche house, one that I think everybody should own a bottle or two from, just because there's a lot of history behind the company and they have a very strong legacy. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, it is certainly a unique fragrance. Although I made comparisons to like Roja Parfum Vetiver, Grey Vetiver by Tom Ford, Vetiver by Guerlain, Dior Fahrenheit, I mean, at the end of the day, this is unique, right? And so certain notes might remind you of the classiness of other fragrances, but the way that this one is put together, the perfumer Edward Bodenham, I think, did an incredible job. Really unique. I personally love the overall smell. Just the perfect accent to a really nice tie, to a really nice suit and tie, excuse me. If you want to smell sharp, if you want to smell very well put together, Jermyn Street is amazing for that. The projection on this one and the performance in general is really good. Longevity, you can expect about 8 hours on your skin. Projection is amazing for the first hour and a half. It really radiates a little bit beyond an arm's length, I would say. And it does start to sit a little bit closer to the skin at that like 6 hour mark. So 6 to 6.5 hour mark, but a total of 8 hours longevity is what you can expect from this one. In terms of the versatility, any season, any occasion, although I know that there are going to be people who say this is a formal fragrance, just because it does convey that dressed up, classy, refined quality, but I don't think there's ever a bad time to put forth the best version of yourself. And so even if you're wearing this one casually, running errands, when you don't expect to run into anybody, at least when you do run into somebody you know, you're gonna smell amazing. And so that's why I say there's really not a bad time to wear this one. And I do think it leans a little bit traditionally masculine, but there are a lot of women's perfumes that contain violet and vetiver for that matter. And so these are just recommendations. If you love the way that it smells, please wear it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And in terms of the presentation, I do like the presentation quite a bit. I think it looks classy with the gold hardware. My final verdict on this fragrance is if you are looking for a very upscale, refined, polished, and gentlemanly fragrance without smelling mature or dated, because I think that's really important, please check out Jermyn Street by Floris. All of the information is going to be down below to where you can learn more about the company and also learn more about this fragrance on its own. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you liked this review. I hope you took something of value from this review. I hope you got a pretty good impression of what it smells like. If you enjoyed this review, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. And once again, if you can give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm, that would mean a lot to me as well. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.